God, this is a sight to see right now. This week has sucked for all of us. As of recent, I think this is one of like the worst weeks we've all had. We've had 4 wildfires within a 5-mile radius over the course of 5 days. No rain, 110 degrees out, just a unbearable crappy week. So this makes me feel a little better, for sure. Well, I got a little bit of motivation today. Went this morning and dropped off the GTE, the turbo head that I have for my Supra, off to our buddy Mike's shop, because he's gonna be assembling the head with all of the new upgraded internals and stuff like that. So when I get that head back, I will show you guys all the parts, all the cool stuff that we added to the head. Keeping the bottom end stock, like I said, and that's where this is coming in handy. Picked this up from Duarte over at Drift HQ, engine stand. I'm gonna go over to the shop and assemble this thing. Hopefully we can get the engine on the stand, tear it down in this video, and get it ready basically to accept the new turbo head. Yeah. Set that up again. All right, we're back in the office in my usual spot, and this means new product time. It has been way too long since I've had a new car accessory available on my website. I kept running into delays, but they are finally here. And you guys have been asking for these to be made for a very, very long time. And I've kept saying, oh, they're almost here, and then I kept running into a delay here, a delay there, but they are finally here. And as usual, I've whipped up a fun little promo that I put on my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and now I'm gonna put it on here to show you guys. I always love making these videos because they're super fun to make. I get to have fun and film like a cool feature of my car showing the product, and I really, really love this one. So here it is, guys. I hope you enjoy.
You won't pick up the phone, I think I heard some. So I fell asleep with the chrome. Yeah, my mind keep racing, it go on and on and on. Not enough time, can I buy me some more? And I can buy you a drink and we can dance on the floor. And I'ma pop some, and then I drink me some more. I got money to make and I got some liquor to pour. Bitch, fall back, why you think you gotta prove something? Stop playing with me, you ain't finna do nothing. I had nothing to lose and I had something to do. I know you heard a lot about me, yeah, well baby, it's true. I step in and the mood switch. People always watching me, I'm trying to mind my business. But I swear she really rocking with me. You see she jogging on me, but I got options to see.
They are back. The waving light stickers are back, and this time with the new Take It Easy Shaka design. You guys have been asking for this design for a long time, and I'm stoked that they're finally here. Just like the last waving light drop, we have 3 different colors. We have cool blue, like neon blue. We got neon red, and I think my favorite color so far is the neon purple. It's kind of like a cross between a light purple and a pink, and it looks so cool at night. Every single one of these packages is hand assembled by me in here in the office. They come with directions on the back of how to properly install. They're AA battery powered, and they come with about 9 feet of wire so that you can tuck it and extend it as far as you need to inside your car, while being able to keep the battery pack accessible so that you can change modes. There's 3 different modes. There's constant, there's flash, and then there's hyper flash. They look sick. They're the perfect fun little accessory to have in your car or wherever you want to mount them. Now, these will be available July 4th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my website, which I always leave a link to in the description of my videos. If you follow me on Instagram, be sure to check my stories, check my posts, and set a reminder because of the anticipation of these, I have a feeling that they're gonna go pretty quick. So be sure to set that reminder and be ready when they drop. Once again, I wanna thank you guys for your continued support with my brand and my channel. Without you, I wouldn't be able to do what I do, and it is immensely appreciated. I can't put it into words, but I'm stoked that these are back. I hope you guys are too, and I have plenty of new stuff coming in the near future. Okay, now back to the video. Main goal on here, onto there, and then across over to the employee shop. See if we can do it before it gets dark. It's too late. It's too late to want to push this thing inside right now. I'm gonna leave it out here and then I'll push it in. Tomorrow we'll start tearing this thing down. All right, it's the next day. We got my glorious NA 2JZ-GE over here in the shop. And today I'm gonna focus on tearing this thing all the way down to the point of where once the head is done, it can just basically be a head swap. So shout out Engine Mike, if you guys don't know him, really good friend of ours, really talented engine builder, and he's gonna be building my cylinder head. So I will leave his Instagram right here. Be sure to go give him a follow, check out his page. He does really, really good work. He helped me get this thing over here because it weighs a ton, and moving these things on gravel and concrete is not fun.
It's a good group of boys. We're all gonna die together out here. You're a good group of boys to die with, I'll tell you that much.
To my knowledge, this engine has never been out of the car before, and my knowledge is from stuff like this and the rear main leaking like a sieve. This thing just has a ton of leaks, a ton of grime, and it's definitely gonna be satisfying to clean all this stuff up. But like I said earlier, the only thing that we're really using from this is all the accessories and the block. The head itself goes bye-bye, harness, bye-bye, distributor, intake manifold, intake, all that stuff, bye-bye. Because we're converting my NA block, NA engine into basically a turbo 2JZ. It's as close as you could get to an actual twin turbo 2JZ VVTi, just using the NA block. This setup has been proven countless times to work perfectly. Duarte has quite a few cars that are actually built like this. And I believe for Adam's FD car, we were also using NA blocks for his 2J builds for the S15. So it's a good setup. We know it works awesome. But I got some boxes over here. I'm just gonna start tearing this thing apart, throwing some stuff in here. Most of this, like I said, we're not even using, so a lot of it can just get thrown away. The factory harness is so old and brittle that just the plastic is just completely turning to pieces. So yeah, I'm gonna glove up and start tearing this thing down. Fuck these top mount intake styles, dude. I hate them. I got everything pretty much disconnected. It's ready to come off. It's about to turn this whole rat's nest into what kind of looks like a 2J. Valve covers look different. Thing kind of looks different, but you'll get the idea. As I'm going through this and tearing this thing apart, I'm starting to think of kind of like a theme for this engine. With the car being pearl white, I feel like black block, like a satin black block, clean, just aluminum head, satin black valve covers, and then a paint matched plastic center cover to the car, I think would look phenomenal on this thing. I have like so many parts sitting ready for this car, but I can't use them all until the engine is stripped and also the head is back, when I can actually put the head on the car. Then I will make an entire video and install of all of those parts, and we'll freshen this thing up. Actually, I might freshen this thing up in this video. I'm not sure yet. If I can get all this stuff off and get this thing to a pressure washer, it'd be sick to see the transformation of this, because this thing has never been out of the car and it is disgusting. Like, absolutely disgusting. So. Let's see if I'm strong enough to one hand this thing. Oh, I'm definitely not gonna be. Need to start working out again. Oh God. This is a nightmare. Okay. Intake is off, injectors, fuel rail, everything. Took it all off as one piece. I'm 90% sure I don't even need to use a single thing off of this, including the engine harness, because we are going to be going with a wiring specialties harness for this car. I have a new intake manifold, I have a new fuel rail, new injectors, all of this stuff. And also, since we're deleting the distributor, we're no longer going to be using this. We're going to be going to coil pack setup on this. And like I said, ignore this head because we're not even going to be using it. So trying not to get the camera dirty. So now I think I'm just going to start taking the distributor stuff off. The accessories like the AC, all the belts in the front, power steering, motor mounts, exhaust manifold that we had to cut, all that stuff. Strip this thing down straight to a head and block, the only stuff that we're going to use, and then go from there. All right, got the fan off, power steering, AC. Last one is alternator, and then this thing will be pretty friggin' stripped down. And then all that's left after that, I'll probably pop that exhaust manifold off, and then motor mounts, and then she's ready for a sleigh ride. I'm just kidding. Then she's ready for the pressure washer. All right, well, my camera died, but I got everything off that I wanted to. So every single accessory, all the motor mounts, intake manifold, exhaust manifold, all of that stuff is off. I want to leave some of the stuff on just when I do pressure wash it, that nothing gets in anything. I'll have to tape up all the ports and stuff like that, but everything is pretty much stripped down. Obviously, after this gets pressure washed, we'll have to take everything off and disassemble the whole front of it and get the head ready to basically come off for when the upgraded head is ready to go. But that won't be for a little bit. Now that all this stuff is stripped off, I have found some new leaks. My front main is definitely leaking. I knew the rear main was also leaking, and probably my oil pan gasket as well. So this thing needs like a full gasket refresh, but I have that. I have a whole JZ gasket kit for this thing. So before this thing gets painted, I just want to clean it, and then we'll start taking stuff off and re-gasket everything, make everything nice, paint it, and this thing will be sick and ready to go. I don't usually remember to film any of these events because my head's always running a million miles an hour, but we are at Clutch Kickers round 2, and today I felt like it'd be kind of cool to give you guys a little inside look at what it takes to film an event like this, and all of the gear that I use and how I use it and where I shoot from and the techniques that I have. First off, media vest is a must. Can't go on track without it. Always keep it in my bag. Second, this is the camera that I use for basically everything at this point. This is a Sony A7S Mark III, and this is my trusty Sony 24-70 G-Master. I've had this lens for about 5 years now, and it is my tried and true, my favorite lens of all time. In terms of audio, I've found the Video Micros do a great job, and they fit right in my backpack. Don't even have to take them off the camera, which is sick. Up here, laptop, charger, all that stuff. In this pack here is my 70 to 200 millimeter lens, which I will be switching to for trackside stuff. I use the 24-70 for off track, but when we're over here working on the car. Got some spare vlog camera batteries in here, lavalier mic. Here's the vlog camera that we use, Sony ZV-1, all my charged camera batteries, GoPro batteries, Sony noise canceling headphones for editing, external drives for dumping footage, battery pack for charging stuff, and some Starbucks to start the day. So there's a comment that I see a lot about the GoPro shots in our videos and how they get so smooth and how they kind of pan with the car as the car's moving. Basically, we run a Hero 10. First of all, that lav that I mentioned, we have that plugged into the GoPro media kit, and that gets tucked up inside the helmet. That way Adam can speak and kind of go over his runs before and after. In terms of the GoPro settings itself, we run it on linear at 1080p, 30 frames a second. Hyper smooth is on, and EV compensation is at -1.5. That way you're filming in here, the interior is not completely dark and the exterior is not completely blown out. If you have EV comp at like 0 or something, one or the other could be more blown out. So we like to keep that on the lower side so that everything is kind of exposed properly. Practice time, baby. Heading out there, gang's all here. We're like second in line, so I'm gonna go find my spot, get all the gear going, and I'm gonna show you guys how I make these videos. All right, out here, center of Garrett's track, and they're gonna be entering from here, starting their course, going this way, so
found a good spot. These tripods are really nice, these Manfrottos, because they have adjustment on the bottom. You can loosen this, and then you can just make sure that your entire top head is perfectly level. Tripod's all level. So now we're gonna swap to the 70-200 for here. So they're gonna be relatively close when they come through here. So I will try it with the 70-200, but if it is too close, I'll switch back to the 24-70. This 70-200 is not a G Master, it's just the G series. So it is F4 continuous from 70 all the way to 200, can stay at F4. Now I'll talk about camera spec for a second. I like to shoot trackside stuff at 120 frames. The rule of thumb for any frame rate is your shutter speed will be double the frame rate. So shutter speed for 120 will be 250. That's as close as you can get. I'll bump the ISO a tiny bit up. It's nice because it gives you more frames to work with when you're editing. So if there's a shot that I get of someone that's really, really cool, or something happens and I want to slow it down, I have all the frames that I can use to slow it down. And it'll still look great on a 60 frame video. Even though, you know, I like to shoot 24, I don't really get that luxury anymore, at least with these videos. But I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna mount you guys to this and show you guys me getting some shots. Gotten a few shots of the 70-200. I think I'm going to keep it on there. I like getting that close to people. It gives me a much better focal range to work with. It's also important that when you're not shooting, to be mindful of your other photographers and videographers that are out here. I always like to duck down so I'm not in their way. Because the last thing a photographer or videographer wants is someone's back in front of their shot. So it's just common media etiquette that I like to follow. Switching angles so I don't overuse that spot. And that concludes practice. Too damn hot. I'm over it.
Big vlogger guy?
What?
Big vlogger guy?
Yeah, I'm over this heat. You're on camera cam.
Camera cam.
Camera cam.
Not cam. Oh no, another camera cam.
Camera cam.
So many camera cams.
Camera cam. Inception camera cam.
Big camera guy.
Just getting some B-roll. Boys are working on the exhaust. Blew a little hole in it. Johan, you're on double camera cam.
We'll show you guys in the next episode what Adam did. Right now it's a secret.
Little boop.
Tune in.
Little boop right there. Taking a quick break before qualifying. Adam's last, so we have a lot of time. Oh, I can't zoom in on this angle. I was gonna zoom the fuck in on you. Yo, answer me this.
Yes.
Why the heck do they have car events during the summer when winter is so beautiful in Florida?
I don't know. I keep asking that. Like,
It's kind of dumb.
With the off season being in the summer, that means we have to work in a shop. Well, you guys are nice. You guys have AC and everything. at your
Most
shop.
people in Florida have AC. Yeah. It's just events don't, you know?
It hurts.
It sucks. Yeah, we're taking a break. You can see my face is about to fall off. Yeah. Leave it down in the comments. That's a good question. My eyes are sensitive. They don't like the sun. Almost qualifying time. Adam is last up. Trying to refrain from being out there as much as possible because it's just so damn hot. So I'm chilling up here until I gotta go down there. But this concludes day one of Clutch Kickers. I hope you guys enjoyed some of the tech talk and like the little tips and stuff that I was talking about. I never remember to film these things or even talk about anything media related when I'm at these events because my head is just running at 1,000,000 miles an hour usually. But I found the time at this event and it was a lot of fun. I'll try and pick up tomorrow and explain some more stuff if I'm on track, if I really think I need to. But for real, feel free to leave down in the comments any media questions, any tips and tricks you have questions about. I always love talking about gear, camera equipment, setups and stuff like that, so. Starting day 2 off with some B-roll, opening up the scene of the second day. You guys can see this is a filter that I have on the front of my lens. This is a circular polarizer, and this little knob here with this little tab is an ND filter, a variable ND filter. So I can keep my lens wide open aperture wise, and it keeps a really nice look with also being able to get rid of the glare of the sky, keep a nice depth of field on the lens because it stays wide open. Well, I forgot to film top 32 and top 16. This is what I meant. I just get sidetracked. I just end up filming the event. I love Dan's Supra so much. Such a well-built car. I love that thing.
What do we got here? Some sealer, some pearl white, some hardener. That means it's almost Supra engine bay time. Brandy stopped by a couple days ago and dropped that stuff off, so hopefully within the next week or two, the Supra's engine bay will get sprayed, along with the ganadors that I have for the car and the wing. Pardon the mess, media stuff everywhere. Because we're in the middle of car season and race season, my videos are kind of uploaded all over the place and not really in any kind of schedule. At this point in my life, I think you guys understand that and you guys expect that. I'm not stopping, I'm never stopping, but sometimes they slow down a little bit. But what you can expect in the next few videos is Supra engine bay getting sprayed. The LS400's exhaust stuff actually showed up. Myself, Marco, and Vibrant will be making a killer exhaust for the LS400, which I'm super stoked about. I'm also gonna throw the body kit back on the car officially. And then I really wanna get the car like detailed and buffed properly. I would love to eventually get that car resprayed, but for the time being, I think the paint could come back and look really, really good. So that's kind of what's in the pipeline for me right now, as well as building the Supra's engine and getting all those parts back from Mike, which should be very soon. I just dropped the promotional video for the light stickers today on my Instagram, and now I have a few days to get all this stuff assembled, packed, and ready to go for you guys when they drop July 4th. I really hope you guys enjoy the promo. I love making those videos. It gives me a chance to stretch my legs and just be creative and have fun with shooting stuff with my cars, and they're always really fun to make. I really want to end this video off with cleaning the Supra's engine because that thing is disgusting, and I know the next time that I want to go work on it, I'm not going to want to because it's still going to be gross. So let's go over there and clean that thing up. Give you guys a little close-up again, quick little before. This thing is filthy, disgusting. Like I said, I don't really have to worry about the head too much, but I plugged all the holes just in case. I'm gonna get this thing looking good, getting it looking right. Oop, I got another hole to plug. And another hole. Mike, what are you doing? Oh my God. All right, I got a couple more holes to plug, and then we'll be good to get this thing clean. say that this thing is looking a million times better. Definitely enough for me to just be able to work on it and not get disgusting. That thing kicked back so much shit on my face. I don't know if you can see it, but it is all over my arms, face, body, everything. But this thing cleaned up beautifully. I noticed this when I was cleaning it. I don't know if you can see that. Lucky 7s, baby. Looks like I found myself a lucky 2J. But anyways, I'm gonna push this thing back into the shop, get it out of the rain, because it's starting to rain. I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it wasn't the most insanely intense video that I've put out, but it was fun to make nonetheless. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.